Welcome to a Factorio highlight. My name is Nilaus, and this is, well, it is a highlight from my Twitch Let's Play series, the True Megabase. And the purpose of this video is to catch you up on some of the really cool designs that we're doing over on Twitch. So if you want to be joining in on the design sessions or the iterative processes, then I'm streaming Factorio on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sundays at 8 p.m. Central European Time, and the address is twitch.tv/Nilaus. So what am I going to emphasize here? Last time in this highlight, I showed how we could do some direct mining into trains here, and then also how we did direct train-to-train smelting. But now the next step logically is to take the trains inbound here and unload them. They will be unloaded into, in this case, a small intermediate gear factory, but then moving in here to a direct science to train facility. Now also you will notice that this train is a bit larger than what you would normally expect to see from trains. This is a 648 and then 6 trains on the other end. And the way it works is that each section here is especially designed so that it is exactly 7 tiles wide, because the wagon is 6 tiles wide and then 1 between here for sort of the intersection. What you can see here is that means I want beacons. I want as many beacons as possible. Actually, I don't necessarily want as many. I want enough beacons. We'll get back to the sort of how to design it in terms of throughputs. But I want beacons here, and that means if I want beacons in between, that means I have 4 tiles in between to work with. And 3 of them takes an assembler, so there's not much left. There's not much to sort of iterate on this. And I have the reason why I'm doing this, I think that's the most important part, is actually I'm doing this because it is fewer entities than it's as few entities as possible. And entities is what is all, that's what counts when we deal with really big bases that will be dragging your updates down to an unplayable level. And therefore, if I load something onto, for example, we can see here, oh, it actually loads up. If we'll take this, you can see it goes from a train into a box, into a belt, into an assembler, into a belt, and then into an assembler, and then into a box, and then into a train. That's a lot of steps. So the idea is that you want to limit those number of steps. And basically what I'm doing here is I'm basically not having an extra. Actually, I'm only taking 1 step out in this particular case, and that step is to go from the assembler onto onto belts, and then from the belts go into a train. We're just going directly into the train. It would be nice if I could get it similarly where the train comes in and then loads directly in, but that would require me to have 48 wagon iron and copper trains, and that's just not really a tenable solution, I would say. So what is interesting here is that if I use my rate calculator, that's what the mod is called, and look at what goes into 1 train. Now if I look at it per minute or per second, it's not much per second, and that's why I can use the red inserter, because it's actually, I was about to call it a sorter, red inserter that will be able to keep up with the production. Not a problem. You can see here over on the right hand side, it never stacks up with the red signs. So we use the red inserter, it will be fine. You put it in here so that when the train goes out and in, or if it gets into a steady state position, it will fill up this box. And what this means is, if we just look at that part and then say, okay, if we have no, it's not. We have 48 of this. That means I am now producing 181 science per second. That's going to be up to minutes, 10,000 per minute, or per hour, 653,000. The intention is that this one should be making 8,333 per hour. So it's slightly overscaled, and that is just basically so that it'll reach a steady state. If I slightly overscale it, then the belts will be full, and full belts are just better for updates than partial belts. So if we look at this one, and if the interesting thing about this train is that now it is going to be filling up pretty damn slowly. You can see we're already up to 250,000. I don't even know how much that is. All right, we're going to stand here, and I will just open the calculator. This is also a mod, and each wagon can contain 8,000. And there are 48 wagons. That means I need to load it to 384,000. And if we divide by, how much was it 1 segment was doing? Not much is the answer. not much indeed. This one here, not per hour, but per, let's go even per second. Then we divide it by, we want to go per minute because it's going to end up at minutes. 2 to 6.8. Then we'll see that it'll take a lot of minutes to actually get us to fill it up. If it's just in a steady state production, perfect, we're just leaving. If I then divide it by 60 again, there it means it's actually, that's, oh, right. It's 8,000, it's here. That one. This is per minute. It takes 35 minutes to load it completely full. So in 35 minutes, that's the time it takes. We want to look at science at the end, but first we want to take a look at the green. Here we have the green science. Just want to emphasize this as well. And this is designed. Again, we're going to do exactly the same here. We're just going to see how much it is per hour. It's an 11,000, so it's also very high. I was putting a lot of beacons and modules here. What we're seeing here is basically the same. We're getting iron and copper inbound, and then I'm going to make green circuits locally. So again, I'm trying to mitigate the amount of belts I'm using. And the way I'm doing that is by simply saying they are going to go in directly. There will be slightly imbalance on the ratios, but it'll be a much nicer ratio. It'll be much fewer instead of having a dedicated green circuit production that then belted into the next and into the next. So now we have full belts here. That's very nice. And these are not full yet. They will be full when over time. You can see here the belt is full. Yeah, that's why I was stumbling over that. The belt. But the other thing, the inserters here is not quite full. But this is a really neat design that works. It works really well. It delivers to both the sides. You can see here it comes out and then it goes in. I have decided that I want to merge these so that there's going to be an even demand here, and they'll go in. This is on a 4-second cycle, and we now have 11,000 of this. I am going to just hit you right on this one. Let's see how close we are. We're pretty far from leaving, so let's wait until it's ready to leave. So we are now on the train here, heading back to the science facility, and with both the red and the green coming in, that's as far as we've reached so far, and we'll start working on the next big challenge, and that's going to be the red circuits for the blue science coming up. But the idea I want to emphasize here is how we are going to do the actual unloading. So here you have a weird pattern, and the reason why it's this pattern is actually because it's kind of trying to make sure, or not trying, but it is making sure that if you see here, this is outputting on the, let's say, western side, and that means this one has to go on the other side. If I just put this here, then we're going to try to put it on the same side, and I want to have belts going in here with setup on both sides, and you can see the amount. See, that one is, oh, it's actually necessary. How many do we have? How many affected by? We have 13 available, and that's it's almost the maximum. This corresponds to 11 beacons surrounding it. It is possible to get to 12 beacons, but it's not possible to get to 12 beacons when you need to make sure that it also fits on a 7 cycle here. What I've done is now make it a 14 cycle. So you can see here, the repeating pattern is actually, okay, yep. Of course I'm going to shoot things. That's exactly what I wanted. There we go. That is the repeating cycle. Here, here, here. And if we just look a bit closer at this one, you can see that I have the red and green coming in here, and it goes into this belt, and the other red and green goes in here and goes that way. Then I'm going to have another one, which will be, let's see. Yeah, they have some weird locations here. So this one's the top, so I don't know exactly what that's going to be. And let's see. I don't know, but it's going to match that. This is, oh, it's probably going to be, I don't know. Let's say it's purple and yellow science. So it will come in on the 2 inner ones. So this one is going in here, and the other one just goes down here. So it's kind of a rotational symmetry here, so that we can get all of it done with the undergrounds. It's an obscene amount of undergrounds. But the best thing about this one, this is the thing that I'm actually most proud of. If we use our calculator here and just drag it all the way over, because this is the true design parameter. I want the science to overscale, but I want this one to be exactly Well, that's not really working, is it? You're supposed to be able to do that. Why are you not doing that? Oh, come on. So when it has these in, when it doesn't have those in, it seems to work. Or maybe there's an upgrade or something. All right, usually, I was so proud of that. There's just been an upgrade. Anyway, this will do exactly, and I mean absolutely 100% exactly 500,000 signs per hour. So I just need 2 of these. And then I have all the signs. So everything is designed in a way that I am here consuming 500 signs per hour, but each of these out here, we're just going to take it. Each of this is doing slightly more than 500,000 per hour. If I just go per hour, 650, and on the other side, which means it's idle, and I want it to be as idle as possible. Getting overscaling is not actually a problem, because when inserters or assemblers stop, they will also be idle. So 540,000 here. So you can see that both of them are overscaled compared to the 500,000 that can be consumed. This must be the science consumption must be the bottleneck for your base, because that's what you design for. Everything else must be slightly overscaled so that you have this one to guide for. That means we just need to make a few more, like some blues, some rocket science, some purple science, and some yellow science, and then we're all good. Then we have half of it, and we've learned it, and we just copy paste it and do it over again, and then we have 1 million signs. So during that process, which might take a while, I'm sure we'll come up with lots of new ideas and designs for how to solve some of these weird questions here. I hope that you found this to be a useful way. This is kind of a recap of what's going on over on my Twitch channel, but on the other hand, it's also just an interesting way to show some new and, I would say, innovative designs that are kind of out of the ordinary, because I'm doing way more sort of in and out of trains than usually with belts or robots, for that matter. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to keep up with the series, then do head on over to Twitch. Maybe not right now, depending on when it is, but Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sundays at 8 p.m. Central European Time. Then you can catch me live on Twitch, trying to solve these abstract and very complicated problems with the help of chat, of course. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, hit the like button. That means a lot that there are still viewers for Factorio content here on the channel. And yeah, if you have good ideas for masterclasses or base reviews or anything like that, be sure to let me know. So thank you for watching. Until next time, take care and stay effective.